The story of Job, a deep relationship of faith, trial, and restoration. Job lived in the land of Uz. He was a man described as blameless and upright, someone who feared God and shunned evil. Job's life was a model of righteousness. He was blessed with great wealth, thousands of livestock, many servants, and a large, loving family with 7 sons and 3 daughters. His reverence for God was profound, not just in public acts, but in private care, offering sacrifices on behalf of his children, in case they had sin in their hearts. Job's relationship with God was intimate and respectful. He saw himself as a steward of blessings, not their master. His devotion wasn't transactional, it was grounded in deep reverence and love for God's holiness. The Heavenly Challenge. One day, in the heavenly courts, a scene unfolded. Satan, the accuser, came among the heavenly beings before God. God pointed to Job, calling him a faithful servant. Satan, however, accused Job. He claimed that Job was only righteous because God had blessed him. "Stretch out your hand and strike everything he has," Satan argued, "and he will surely curse you to your face." God, confident in Job's heart, allowed Satan to test him. But God set limits. Satan could not harm Job's life. The trials of Job. In rapid succession, disasters struck. Raiders stole Job's oxen and donkeys and killed his servants. Fire from the sky, perhaps lightning, burned up his sheep and more servants. Bands of raiders stole his camels and killed yet more servants. Finally, a great wind collapsed the house where his children were feasting, killing all 10 of them. Job was devastated. Yet, he responded with profound humility, "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will depart. The Lord gave and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." Through all this, Job did not sin by charging God with wrongdoing. Further testing. Satan appeared before God again, arguing that physical suffering would break Job's faith. God permitted Satan to afflict Job's body but forbade him from taking Job's life. Soon, painful sores broke out over Job's entire body. Job sat among ashes, scraping his skin with a piece of broken pottery. Even then, Job did not curse God. His wife urged him to curse God and die, but Job replied, "Shall we accept good from God, and not trouble?" Job's friends and the long debate. 3 of Job's friends, Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar, came to comfort him. At first, they sat with him in silence for 7 days, overwhelmed by his suffering. But when they finally spoke, they revealed their misunderstanding. They insisted that suffering must be a result of sin. They urged Job to repent, assuming he had secretly wronged God. Job protested his innocence. He knew he was not perfect, but he also knew he had not committed the great sins they suggested. His speeches reveal a soul in agony, not only from pain, but from the loss of his sense of closeness with God. He asked profound questions. Why do the innocent suffer? Why does God seem silent? Would God explain himself? Job's relationship with God shifted here, from quiet obedience to an intense, honest wrestling. He did not curse God, but he demanded an audience with him. He cried out for justice, longing for God to explain the purpose behind his misery. The Mysterious Elihu. A younger man, Elihu, eventually spoke up. He criticized both Job and the 3 friends. Elihu suggested that suffering could be a way God teaches, disciplines, and refines people, not merely a punishment for sin. God answers. At last, God himself spoke to Job, from out of a whirlwind. But God didn't offer a simple explanation. Instead, he questioned Job, showing the vastness of his creation. "Where were you when I laid the earth's foundation? Have you commanded the morning since your days began? Can you bind the chains of the Pleiades or loosen Orion's belt?" Through these powerful questions, God revealed his infinite wisdom, his control over the universe, and the smallness of human understanding. God wasn't mocking Job. He was inviting Job to trust in God's greater wisdom and sovereignty, even without having all the answers. Job's response. Job's heart was humbled. He said, "Surely I spoke of things I did not understand, things too wonderful for me to know. My ears had heard of you, but now my eyes have seen you. Therefore I despise myself and repent in dust and ashes." Job's relationship with God deepened, moving from dutiful reverence to a profound, personal, awe-filled understanding of God's majesty. Restoration. God rebuked Job's 3 friends for misrepresenting him. Job prayed for them, and God accepted Job's intercession. Then God restored Job's fortunes, giving him twice as much as before. Job had more livestock, more servants, and 10 new children. His daughters were noted as the most beautiful in all the land. Job lived many more years, seeing his descendants to the 4th generation. Summary: Job's relationship with God. Job's relationship with God was tested, stripped bare, questioned, and then rebuilt on a deeper foundation. At first, Job honored God faithfully but somewhat distantly. During suffering, he wrestled with God honestly. After encountering God personally, Job surrendered completely, not in despair, but in awe and renewed faith. Job teaches that faith is not blind acceptance, but a living, wrestling, trusting relationship with a God whose ways are higher than ours.